Hello. Hello and welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. I am here every single day of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have got epic troll slayers who have kept us safe for years. And we have got a fantastic community, and I'm trying to fix the blanket for the kitten. We've got a fantastic community because of you, because of your kindness. There, sweetie. If you go lie down there. There. Lie down there. I'll cover you up. There we go. We have to take care of each other. So just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. I timestamp them as I go, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed or whatever works for you. So I'm glad you like the star kitty. Said yes, scratch. Nails are kind of fun today. A little sparkle, little yellow, little sparkle. And like little stars to match. Anyway, all right. Hello, Becca from House of Lenormand's in the chat. Do follow Becca from House of Lenormand. She's amazing. So, all right. Trying to pull things up. Oh, Carolyn, thank you so much. Gifted 10 memberships to random people in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're so sweet. All right. So is anything going on today? Nothing infuriating, I'm sure. I'm sure it's all fine. Yeah, I was swearing earlier. Quite a bit. Yeah. So we're gonna end up reading on this the bonkers. No, I just can't watch right now. Too depressed. Well, I understand. I understand if that's what you want to do, but just so you know, we are in this together, and I'm not giving up. I'm just not. There we go. We're using the Aquarian deck today. There we go. All right. Raymond says Fatuous 45 is threatening Musk with deportation. Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of fun stuff. So, all right. I'm just going to jump in. Oh, Cat Toy gifted 5 memberships to random people in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Kristen, from Uncover the News. All right. All right, let's have a quick let's have a look at what happened. Let's just start there. And then we're going to go to something that it was quite a burn in a humorous way. So we'll do that next. But first, we're going to look at the Senate passed the Bonkers Budget Bill with Shady Vance voting to make it 51-50. And so now it's now going back to the House. There's talk amongst reporters that the House is actually dubious, that there they might not go for it, but because apparently the cuts are even more draconian than the one the House sent over. Great. How did they flip Murkowski was the question from where was it? There was a question. Oh, Nancy, how did they flip Murkowski? who was it? Was it Rand Paul? Thank you, Scan Man. Thank you. I think it was Rand Paul who said that somebody said that basically the bill was a bunch of handouts to Alaska for Murkowski, that she was so her state was exempt from a bunch of this stuff. And he called her out on that. And when the reporter went to Murkowski, this just happened before I came on, went to Murkowski and told her that he said that, she just stared at him for like 12 seconds. She was so mad, but she didn't want to say anything. So she just stared at this reporter for like 12 seconds. But yeah, she got them to exempt Alaska from some of the worst of this. So yeah. Anyway, well, they voted. The parliamentarian went through it before they voted on it. So it isn't that they voted on it and then the parliamentarian stripped things out, because they just voted on it and now it's going back to the House. So, but they still have to reconcile the two bills. And Lewis is asking, did the reporter turn to stone? Exactly. Breathe. If you take twice as long to breathe out as you do to breathe in, it calms your nervous system. It's what deep sea divers do. Breathe out. Not only breathe, but breathe out. For a long time, my cards were saying that this was going to get broken into smaller bills. And maybe there's still a chance that can happen. It seems to be a lot of momentum behind this right now. Diva says, no, Schumer was able to remove Murkowski's provisions. Really? And she still voted for it? Interesting. Anyway, thank you. You know me, it's more important to me that we get the most accurate information. That's the most important thing. Happy birthday, Peggy. Happy birthday. It's just that the astrology is so big. I put up, it's hard, you can't really read it here, but on the community page on Instagram and on Facebook for Black and Orange, there is a larger version of this that explains key things that are happening in July, including Mercury retrograde later this month and whatnot. On Friday, this coming Friday, it's July 4th, there's a lot going on. There is, it's Independence Day, of course, but that's when Neptune is stationing to go retrograde. So there's just going to be a whole lot of Neptune dissolving immaterial, can be delusional energy, as from our perspective, it's moving along and then it just suddenly seems like it stops. So that energy just really concentrates before it goes back again. Venus, What and How We Love, that's moving into Gemini, which is very important, specifically because on Monday is when Uranus goes into Gemini, and then all of the outer planets will be in very close aspect, major aspects to each other. All of them. This has never happened before in human history. I just do not see how we get through the next week without changes. Now, the good news is that all of the other, Jupiter is squaring Saturn and Neptune, but the other planets are all in actually good aspects to each other. So that's good. It's not all bad. But this is such a turning point in human history. Huge turning point. So the idea that we would get through the next week, as I said, tickety-boo, everything will be just the same or better. This is a time when there's so much astrological energy coming through. Us mere mortals, we just have to kind of pull together and make sure, we're all in our individual deep sea. We're in a sea of energy, and we're all in our individual little deep sea vehicles with our spiritual umbilical cords going up to the surface, and we're down here together. And so this is one of those points where we know these huge currents of astrological energy are going to blow through. So we find a nice, kind of rocky area that we can kind of pull everybody in, and we'll just hunker down a little bit and support each other. And just so, Anna, I'm so sorry. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. But yes, burn. Light workers unite. I like that. So this is what we're going to do. But I would love to think that there are people in the House who are going to just torpedo this at this point. But we'll see. Democrats are in a weak position. It's Page of Cups. Queen of Swords. There's your parliamentarian. King of Cups. Democrats have stood up as best they can. Knight of Pentacles. GOP really pushing forward. Nine of Cups. You are going to regret this when Donnie signs. I think he's going to end up signing this. His bludgeon. So, will the House pass this travesty? Oh, Sandra Lee, I agree. I hope the House doesn't pass it. I totally agree. Debsy says they obviously don't want to be reelected. Why would anyone be on that side of the political aisle at this point? Why would anyone? So Bernie says, will this be permanent and won't be able to be changed by Democrats? Oh, no, it's a budget. They absolutely can change it, but we have to win in huge numbers. Deb says 5051 is a group that suggests rallies. There are big rallies on July 4th. 50 states, 50 rallies one day. Oh, I like that. Thank you. Wheel of Fortune. Big energy coming through. The cards themselves are minor arcana. Probably what's happening is so big that the budget, I'm hoping, does not turn out to be the big historical event of this time. Sharon's asking, if passed, will it be legally challenged because it violates the Civil Rights Act, Equal Protection Clause, and the ADA? They can try. They can try. We're going to be okay. We're going to get through this together. We are. All right. Working. Day late and a dollar short. Yeah, because this thing could be held up just by somebody very weak. Page of Swords. Three of Pentacles. That's the plan. Three of Swords. Ouch. I'm not liking these cards. I'm not liking this energy. So we'll do something. Ooh. For once, Donald Trump said something that actually made me laugh. That's next. Nine of Pentacles sitting pretty. Nine of Cups. On our side, we know the deal. Knight of Pentacles, and this is his legacy. Now, these are all minor arcana, which is, these people don't have to do this. They don't. This is very human level. This is not fated. This cruelty is not fated. This is their decisions. Their awful, cruel, unconscionable decisions. So I'm hoping it doesn't pass. I'm getting really weak cards. But I'm getting cards that say it very well could pass. But anyway, all right. So I'll take my humor where I can get it. For what it's worth, not the most important thing of the world, but why not? At 1645, so the dumpster fire was in Florida and introduced Ron DeSantis and Kristi Noem to Real America's Voice reporter Brian Glenn. Don't know who Brian Glenn is? He is dating Marjorie Taylor Greene, that journalist who's her boyfriend. Claire says autumn is already passed a few hours ago. It did in the Senate. So now it's going back to the House. It's my understanding. So, Trump was in Florida recently, introduced Ron DeSantis and Kristi Noem to Real America's Voice reporter Brian Glenn by noting the correspondent Brian Glenn was dating Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump said, "This is the boyfriend. Very lucky, Marjorie Taylor Greene." Kristi Noem exclaimed, "Oh, really?" DeSantis says, "Good." Trump said, "You think it's easy being with Marjorie?" Whew. Would you like some ointment for that burn? Whew. Whew. She was notoriously left out. Going between the dumpster fire president and Marjorie Taylor. Think it's easy being with Marjorie? It's at moments like that, it really does feel like dumpster fire is like, well, I have Melania I can show off, even if they don't have much of a relationship anymore. But because of his ego, he wants her to be able to show off. But it's like, yeah, she kind of hates your guts. Just saying. Kind of like the rest of us, only it's kind of we all despise you for different reasons, but we all despise you. Okay, I've got the Lover's card here, and that's the card for the reading, and that could have a lot of meanings, and I don't want to even, I'm just going to go with what cards I pulled. They have a working relationship. There's been a refusal of any kind of closeness. And Four of Swords is, she's iced out. She has been iced out. Oh, well. Ouch. Whew. All right. Alligator Alcatraz. All right, there's something on my teeth. What is this? What's going on? I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Yes. Butch Blonde. Yes, Night Moon Glow. Call your house reps. Yep. Or no spinach detected. I don't know what it was. All right. So, okay. Let's read on Alligator Alcatraz. Now, here's the thing. Alligator Alcatraz. Now, correct me if I am wrong, but my understanding was that the idea of Alligator Alcatraz was that this was going to be a prison in the Everglades. And if anybody escaped, they'd have to get through the Everglades, which have all kinds of alligators, poisonous snakes. There were some, my understanding is that some people who had boa constrictors actually that didn't want to take care of them anymore or were moving somewhere else, they would like release them in the Everglades. So now there are boa constrictors. Great. So I thought, okay, so they're going to build some facility there. Nope, they're not. They started talking about this idea, and then DeSantis went racing down and set up a tent city, basically a big tent city on an airstrip. And supposedly those big tents that hold a lot of people, because there are cages inside, of course, with their like bunk beds with just fencing, metal fencing, like outdoor, that kind of outdoor fencing. Yeah, that's where the people are being held. Apparently they say there's AC in there, but with that many people and in Florida in the summer in a tent where you're not getting, there's no like buffer from like an attic or there's American crocodiles, monitor lizards, bull sharks, boas, pythons, etc. Oh, lovely. Chain link. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Chain link cages. Yeah. So, so there's already something there. And it's still going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars to run every year. And they wanted it to be on an airstrip so that people they're going to be between 3,000 and 5,000 people who are being deported there. And so the airstrip is right there to deport them to who knows where. Oh, Jeff. Yeah. Thank you. Travel says temperatures in the triple digits, anywhere from 109 to 131 plus. Humidity. And then there's, of course, there are hurricanes. Because we're, heading, just barreling toward hurricane season. Unfortunately, they're not out in the cold, but this is destitution. Yeah. Uncle Mark was saying Alligator Alcatraz is more aptly Alligator Auschwitz. I can't really disagree with that. Entertainment only, YouTube. King of Swords. Four of Pentacles. So you have big law enforcement action on people who have nothing. Six of Swords. So moving them out. This came out with moon cards of chaos. Eight of Cups, leaving things undone. So due process, schmoo process. Seven of Cups on the defensive. They're gonna be big questions about the human rights abuses. But by that point, there will already be human rights abuses. It's a day. It's a day. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. And there was a question here. There was some news. I'll just tell you the news. I don't know that I really want to read on it. DeSantis announced he plans to deputize Floridians as judges of immigrant detainees in order to fast track people through Alligator Alcatraz. He plans on setting up, quote, our National Guard and other folks in Florida to be deputized to be immigration judges. We're working with the Department of Justice for approvals. I'm sure Pam will approve. Pam Bondi. Unquote. DeSantis said Trump nodded his head and said, yep. Oh, no. DeSantis said that as Trump nodded his head and said, yep. Maybe I'll read on that in a couple of days, but I can't right now. I just can't. I don't have it in me. Kath had a question about Elon because apparently the feud between Elon and Dumpy is picked up again. Trump getting his little tiny thumbs of fury into a tizzy. Kath was wondering, is Elon going to steal Anonymous's thunder over fixing the 2024 election? Will he spill secrets? Will Elon spill secrets? Anonymous, longtime viewers know I have my issues with Anonymous. Could they ruin my life personally? Of course they could. I'm just a random person. But wow, they're so big and scary, and you're doing what? You've done what? Please. Anyway, Uncle Mark says, I think he and Musk are fake fighting personally. I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but I don't think so. They're both raging narcissists who are also slightly. They are, in one case allegedly, and in one case confirmed to be medicated. So, yeah. Brianna says, Anonymous is irking my nerves with their nonsense. Yeah. Okay. These two have at it. I've got a big container of popcorn I am dying to crack into. Bought it months and months ago. Big. Makes my mouth water just thinking about it. I know there's some people who are like, I don't like carbs. That is not me. I love carbs. Anyway, especially popcorn. I have a weakness. I have a horrible weakness for popcorn. You do not want to take me to go see a movie. You don't. Seriously, I'm just warning you right now. And if I ever in my life am ever on a date again, who knows? Yeah, don't take me to a movie, because I'm not going to be. It's not going to be feminine and demure. Dinner, I'll be fine. But you take me to see a movie, I will get the biggest thing of popcorn with the biggest diet soda. I will eat that entire tub myself. It's bad. Whew. Anyway, Hey Golf Twitler says a Fantastic Four Galactus popcorn head. Sharon says you need your own refillable popcorn, skip dinner. There we go. Lewis says as long as you don't hog the armrest. Oh no, I usually do. You know, generally you let the big strong man have the armrest. This is how I was raised. As long as I have my tub of carbs, I'm good to be contained. Anyway, all right. Visualize 70, are you one of those noisy cinema goers? No. I am totally sucked in. I'm very easy to hypnotize. So when I'm watching a movie, I am just sucked in. The other day when I got to creative sprints, I was like, okay, we're going to do creative sprints. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull myself together, because I was watching, there's this TV show I had been watching, I've been working my way through, and there was this funeral on a show. And I just got, and it was like, okay, I'm fine. It's all fictional. And I had to pull myself together. It's ridiculous. I get completely sucked in. So anyway, back to this. Rashan says, right, you must have your very own bucket of popcorn. It will not be demure. All right, these two jerks, we're back to this. Illusion delusion. We know that they allegedly both may have altered states at some point. They both see themselves as the greatness, the super greatness. They're the business people, whatever. Knight of Cups. They also get very emotional. Trumple Thin Skin and old Mucky Boy, they get very emotional. I don't want to hear boo about, oh, women are so emotional, not men. Please. Seven of Cups, seven of Wands. So on the defensive against each other. Temperance. Elon's going to be, if this thing passes, he's not going to be happy. But there's not much he'll be able to do. I know he's been talking about, Diva says your arteries are boycotting Cinemark. Oh, I haven't been to see a movie in like 5 years. It's better that way. Even my homemade bowl is a good size, Anyway, I have this weakness for popcorn. I just do. Elon was going, I had all these great questions, but I'm just like I feel like I'm being led down this path to go over all this other stuff. Elon's been talking about starting his own party, financially supporting non-MAGA Republicans, or maybe even Democrats. I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Oh yeah, Carmen. Shady Vance cast the tie-breaking vote. Yeah. The bill, okay, I think there is a, all right, I think there's some confusion going on here. In order to pass a budget resolution, you have to get at least, 60 votes? You have to get a lot more than 50% to just pass it straight. They don't have that. The margin is too close in both the House and the Senate. Okay, so all that, because the Republicans control both the House and the Senate, they're doing what is called a reconciliation. And this is the one, they can only do this on the budget, and I believe they can only do this, is it twice in 4 years or something? They're limited to how often they can do this. And it can only be about the budget. So what happens, because the House controls the purse strings, the House creates a budget bill. They did that under Speaker Mikey the Heretic, who, it's awful. So they passed, in the House, they passed their heinousness, okay? They sent that to the Senate. The Senate made all kind of changes. Two-thirds, thank you. And says 2/3 is the usual number. Thank you. Senate made all kind of changes, made it worse. In some respects, made it much worse. But then the parliamentarian, so they messed with it, and then the parliamentarian got hold of it and went through and said, okay, in reconciliation, there was a Senator Byrd, B-Y-R-D, way back when. Senator Byrd, it's called the Byrd rule, that when you're doing reconciliation, the House can pass a budget, the Senate can pass a budget, and then they come together and try to reconcile the two budgets. Okay? So the House passed theirs, the Senate came up with their version, and then the parliamentarian went through it and said, hang on, there are all of these things that are not actually related to the budget, like giving Trump more power, or, it's like, no, that's not. And her doing that is called the Byrd bath. It's a joke, but it's because of Senator Byrd. So she's washing out all the things from the Senate version that are not germane to. So the Senate votes to pass it, and both of these, both the House and the Senate, are just passing these with simple majorities. The Senate has now passed theirs. So now you have a House bill, you have a Senate bill, and they've got to get together and they've got to reconcile the two. That's what's going on. And that's why all eyes are now turning back to the House, because there are some Republicans in the House saying they won't vote for the current version, the Senate version, because it's even more extreme than the House version was. But I don't trust Senate. I don't trust Republicans, certainly House Republicans, no. And they got the original one through. Anyway, that's what's going on. So now, Crisco says reconciliation is simple majority. All other Senate bills are 60 votes. Are they? Okay, I'll have to double check that. I didn't think they were all. I could be wrong. I think the budget is. I could be wrong. Anyway, I'm juggling so much in my head right now, and I am as livid as you are. So my details Might be a little, so please be patient with me and just correct me when I'm wrong. But we're getting a lot of, thank you, Joyce. We're getting a lot of conflicting information because it's a weird system. So, and yes, Uranus is 29 degrees, so many minutes, because it's going into Gemini in 1 week. Actually, less than a week. It's next Monday. So, that's what that is. Okay, so at 40, 50. Elon starting his own party, or right, Julie, the House has more to worry about in the short term because they have re-election bids every 2 years, right? Whereas the Senate, the senators are up for re-election every 6 years, but it's staggered. So there's only a third of the Senate up to be voted on per election cycle, or every 2 years. So Mark says the Liam party, the Special K party. There we go. Oof. So is Elon going to start his own party, or is he going to do something to undermine Dumpy's politics, or the MAGA politics? He's got the money. Card for the reading is big money. Huge money. Huge money. Bernie says the vote was 50-50. Vance broke the tie. Yes. Yes. All right, Chariot. That's a big, showy action. Four of Wands is Trump's base of power. Page of Wands is in the middle. After this, after whatever's going on, what have you, there's going to reach a point where Trump's power is going to wane dramatically. Just is. For a number of reasons. One, even though he won't admit it, he's a lame duck president. Two, administrations get things done within the first 6 months, maybe the first year, and then it usually gets too hard, especially at the second year, because the other party usually, if they didn't already, gains control of at least one of the houses, like the House or the Senate, parts of Congress. So Dumpy's power is not on the rise. Can definitely say that. Whereas money is money is money, and Dumpy may think he's rich, but and this is secrets. Basically feels like secrets. He can, and with it's possible. Sorry, I got distracted. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Kristen. It's possible because there's so many dark money packs and whatnot. It's possible that Musk could be giving huge amounts of money to various people and never have to even stick his head out. And that's the system you want to create, Republicans. Yeah. Chris Cole says we've got 3 more weeks until the 6-month mark. Yeah. Woof. All right. Now, what was going on up here? Hang on. Deborah is saying, now, is there a link, or is there, like, where did you find this information? I don't want to read it out loud unless there's like you can say, Newsweek is saying, or something. But up here, Krista from Uncover the News said, breaking. Trump just told Kristi Noem to look into arresting her predecessor, Alejandro Mayorkas. Quote, if he wasn't given a pardon, I can see looking at that. Why don't you take a look at that, Kristi? Unquote. Taking a look, I mean, it's vile, but at this point it's just talk. So, and unfortunately, he can say heinous stuff, and a lot of it we just have to go, whatever. So, all right, next. There's so much to cover. It's 46. All right, there's some stuff on Trump and Musk, but let's I'll move some of those over to tomorrow. Oh, well, this is important. 4620, because you and I, we really need to start watching our pennies very, very closely. Seriously. So Melissa was asking, will the U.S. currency lose its global dominance status? It is the reserve currency of the world, and that can change. This currency loses global dominance. We are going to get through this. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but you are living through an extraordinary time, and you've made it this far. Hang in there. You're not alone. Okay? Well, there's the Sun card. It's not always good. There's Dumpy, the man. There's Dumpy, the would-be emperor. That's our problem. Well, that's the biggest symptom of our problem. The problem is that part of our country has been taken over by a cult. And then there are a bunch of cynical, moralless blankety blanks who think it's in their best interest to support this. But we're still here. We're still here. And we are still a big economy. 3 of Pentacles. But it's 3 of Cups. So Democrats, what happens? What has happened decade after decade after decade now? Republicans ruin the economy, Democrats fix it. Republicans ruin the economy, Democrats fix it. Republicans ruin the economy, Democrats fix it. And on and on and on. And that's what this is saying here. Raymond says a felon married to an immigrant is telling us that the problem is immigrants and felons. Exactly. You hit it right on the Mobius strip of a nail. Okay. So at 49:15. 49:20. Kristen brought this from Uncover the News. Thank you. The Justice Department is aggressively prioritizing efforts to strip some Americans of their U.S. citizenship. I could not, I cannot tell you how upset I would be. I do not have words to explain how angry I would be. Anyway, Rose Blue, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rose. Hang in there. Department leadership is directing its attorneys to prioritize denaturalization in cases involving naturalized citizens who commit certain crimes. Jaywalking, spitting on the street, I'm guessing, and giving district attorneys wider discretion on when to pursue this tactic, according to a June 11th memo. This applies to citizens born outside of the U.S. Will this happen? Okay. Well, they've already arrested multiple American citizens. And you'd think, oh, well, they would just be like, oh, okay, sorry. No, they find ways to hang on to them for a while. And yeah. Being a Democrat, Old Silver, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. I'm surprised. Maybe they couldn't come up with the right language, because I'm surprised Dumpy has not tried to make it, being a Democrat, make it an actual crime. Wow. Yes. But if you voted for Democrats, if everybody voted for Democrats, none of this would be happening. That's the card for the reading. Vote blue. Vote for Democrats. Oh, Giovanna, thank you. Happy July. Happy July to you, too. Thank you. Bullying. Trump's bludgeon. People minding their business. Judgment. Big glaring Six of Pentacles. There are scales in the Six of Pentacles. This is like the petty, disgusting version of the Justice card. I mean, it's usually a card of charity, but that can also be a petty, disgusting version, a kangaroo court, or something like this. And they're Queen of Wands. Those are the people in charge in certain states who are all for this kind of cruelty and stupidity. I would love to say this is never going to happen, but oh boy, okay. Lewis says, so jaywalking bad, treason good? Apparently. Foggy Ozark, hello, says Dems need to worry more about hating on each other. That's true. Blue, 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 blah, blue. So I know that we've been trying to come up with, is there any good news in the world, or are there any wins we should know about, or something? Sarah this morning was like, I've got this. I'm going to find something. Oh, okay. Because Bernadette Smith even specifically asked, is there any good news today? The news gods were not kind. But there was one thing that came up that Sarah was struggling. So thank you, Acadian Proud. Happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. Okay, well, we've had a good trend. So I wanted to share that. Make sure you know about this. The 21st century, which we're a quarter of the way through, has seen tree coverage expand 60% in American counties, including metro areas. So the amount of trees we have in the country has gone up this century. This is good. This is good. The question is, will this trend continue? It does remind me of my favorite Rush Limbaugh quote. Yeah. we're going back because this was, I don't know, early 90s. I mean, this was a long time ago. But my favorite of Rush Limbaugh's quotes, which I think is indicative of that whole right-wing media. He said, ready? Rush Limbaugh said, I don't know why they're getting so upset about climate and all this tree hugging. We have more trees in this country right now than we did when this country was founded. When this country started, there were 13 colonies. There were 13 states. It took up this much of the continental U.S. that it now takes up this much. But this is the kind of stupidity that they spout on the right, and people fall for it. So, yeah. I don't miss him. I really don't. Oh, I think he knew exactly what he was saying. Honestly. He had a mission. He had a mission to turn as many people onto Republicans and off of the Democrats. That was his mission. And he lied like a rug. He wasn't stupid. Can't stand him, but he wasn't stupid. But that twisted, yeah. So anyway, 21st century seen tree coverage expanded in 60% of American counties, including metro areas. Will this trend continue? More trees. Let's have more trees. Let's have. Oh, okay. Foggy Ozark has a favorite. Oh, you have a favorite Rush Limbaugh quote? I need to hear this. Okay, my favorite quote. Why shouldn't we kill weeds with chemicals and be cruel to animals? God is coming back and will make everything new. Because this isn't a video game where you're just mildly inconveniencing some electrons, and cruelty is cruelty. Okay, now that's a good one. Whew, he's awful. Oh. Of course, Miss says if you have a grandparent that you can prove was Canadian, you can request Canadian citizenship. Found out my grandmother was born in Oregon and moved to Alberta. Aw. Oh, thank you, Bernadette. Seriously, they're like Zen koans. Koans? It's one of those words I've seen so many times and I've almost never heard it said. Koan. What is the sound of one hand clapping? You know, something that will make your mind stop for a moment, so you will have this the peace and simplicity and. Well, we won't if this blankety blank stays in power, but my ancestors came straight from Europe, so Queen of Cups. So this is good. We're getting behind growing more trees, creating more oxygen, getting rid of CO2. Trees are a great way to process CO2. Ace of Swords, taking the initiative. But yeah, we're up against the deniers, the short-sighted. And the worse the economy gets, the more people have to set aside worrying about the economy or worrying about the environment just to survive. So that kind of falls to the wayside a bit. But just trying to stir things up, but they'll be disappointed. The younger generations are increasingly increasingly saying, no, you've destroyed the environment and we have to find a way to clean it up. So, oh, that's a good point, Diane. Rush was an addict too. Yep. Jean Hall says, my spouse can get us into the UK, but we're staying for now, standing firm for the people who can't leave. I'm glad you have that option. So Burns says, happy Canada Day. Will someone please adopt me? Well, I am here for the duration, and I'm on this channel for the duration, and I'm here every single day with you. So you've always got someone, you've always got a chat here, you've always got me telling you what the news is, and we're going to make it through this. We are. And I know it feels sometimes like we're not, but we are. It's just, some of this we knew was coming. So I really, really hope, let me grab Old Faithful. I really hope that this isn't going to pass the House, but there's a lot of momentum at the moment. Oh, these cards are so much bigger. Let me double check. Will some version of this heinous budget pass? There was actually a question. There was a question for today that I didn't read on because I don't want to even talk about it. I don't want to put my energy anywhere near it. I just want it to, if it's not going to pass, I want it to just go away and no one to ever think about it again, because if this passes, we're going to have to look at some really dark stuff. And I'll do it, but so we're holding together. We're holding together. So make it 103. What now? All right, it feels very, very bad, but these are, very bad for families. Adding insult to injury, causing a lot of stress, giving a whole lot of electoral power to Democrats in the future. So what now? Mark says, Americans stand fast. Yes. Senator says, thank you again. Once again, you calm us. I hope so. Thank you, Old Silver. We're going to make it through this. It's just infuriating. Oh, look, a hope card for the reading. What now? Hope card. First card, strength. This is us. This is us. Right underneath that's the Queen of Cups. That's Democrats. Strength, 9 of Cups. Democrats are very, very tightly pulling together. That's good. It looks like on the Republican side that they have the fruits of their labor. They have a plan. And one way or the other, it's going to go awry. But we are still here. We're not going to lose our country. We're not going to lose our ability to vote. We really aren't. Hang in there. All right. If you need to step away from the news, do so. If you feel up to it, contact your representative. Don't live in the bad energy. Read a book. Creative Sprints is for creative projects, but it's also just for cleaning or whatever you need to do, adulting, or whatever it is. But even I spend the mornings steeped in a bunch of this news stuff. But once I finish post-production here, and I really try to stay away from the news. I try to do creative stuff. I work on my business, I work on my creative projects, or I'll clean, or I'll do something, I'll get my mind out of this, the bog of eternal stench that is MAGA. I highly recommend that you do as well. Bernie says 15 months to go. Yeah. All right. Even my calendar is like, you've got stuff you got post-production to do. All right. Thank you for being here. It is 1:17 here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. You're always welcome. Links in the description. Other than that, I'll be right back here tomorrow. I'm here every day. Over 5.5 years, only 2 emergencies. Other than that, I've been here every single day for 5.5 years. And I'm going to be here tomorrow, unless something bizarre happens. So hang in there. It's going to be a hard week. It's going to be a week of huge energy, but we're going to get through it. So hang in there. All right. Be well. All right. Go drink some water and pick out a book that you want to read, that you've been meaning to read, that has nothing to do with politics. Yeah, let's clear some space on the bookshelves. Okay. All right, and I'll see you later.